Hey there, island dreamers, locals, and anyone craving a slice of paradise. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time, to the Fun and Key West podcast, where the vibe is always laid back, the stories are salty, and the drinks, well, they're definitely frozen. I'm your host, Michelle O'Connor, your unofficial tour guide to the Conch Republic. Whether you're planning your first trip, your fifth trip, or you're just daydreaming about trading the cubicle for the ocean breeze, you are in the right place. Here's the deal. This podcast is your insider's guide to all things Key West. We're talking where to eat, hello, conch fritters and key lime pie, where to drink, spoiler alert, there will be rum, where to stay, and all the quirky, wonderful things that make Key West the one-of-a-kind paradise we all love. Plus, we'll keep you up to date on the latest happenings, festivals, events, maybe even the occasional Hemingway lookalike sighting. And just to keep things spicy, we'll be bringing on some amazing guests now and then, locals, business owners, and people who know the island like the back of their sandy hand. So grab your flip-flops, pour yourself a cold one, and let's escape to the island state of mind together, whether you're tuning in from your hammock or your commute, while wishing it was a hammock. We've got all the Key West goodness coming your way. Thanks for being here. It's going to be a lot of fun in Key West. Let's dive in. Welcome to another mouth-watering episode of Tasty Tuesday. Today, we are diving into a topic that's as fresh as the seafood in Key West: oysters. When you think of Key West, you're probably picturing sunsets, Duval Street, and key lime pie. But for us seafood lovers, this island is an oyster paradise. We're not just listing spots to visit today. We're having a fun, flavorful conversation about the best places to try, what to look for, and why oysters in Key West hit differently. So grab a cocktail, settle in, and let's shuck some knowledge about the best oyster experiences in Key West.
Welcome to Fun in Key West, where every day feels like a mini fest. Grab a drink, take it slow. We'll show you where the locals go. Food, fun, and stories to tell. Hidden gems you know so well. Your Key West experts here to say it's fun in Key West every day.
Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday. Today, we are diving into something that you guys talk about a lot. And when I say Key West, most of us think sunsets and Duval and key lime pie. But seafood lovers, there is a place for oysters for sure, right? This is not going to be a conversation about a list of these are the places you should go, but we're going to have a conversation about places to try. Have you thought about this place? Have you thought about that place? What to look for, and all those little really cool things that we try to talk about on the podcast. So I am Michelle with Fun in Key West, and thank you so much for joining me today for this episode of the best oysters in Key West. So, why oysters in Key West hit a little different? You're going to have some East Coast and West Coast varieties that come in. Key West and the Florida Keys are known for their local seafood and access to those fresh catches every day. And proximity in seafood, as we know, matters. We want to make sure that that seafood is fresh. And what's really cool in Key West, you're able to see a lot of times fishermen coming in and dropping off their catch of the day. That's why that's so cool whenever you go into a lot of these restaurants and they have the catch of the day. You know that it is the catch of the day and it is fresh because there are local fishermen. You have access to the historic seaport. There are fish markets, think Eaton Seafood Market. And of course, those daily catch rotations. What's in season for fish is what you're usually going to get. And freshness has that impact on the seafood. It has a texture thing. If seafood's been sitting for a little bit, it's not as bright and as firm as it could be. Sometimes you get a little bit more brininess out of it. The flavor can be impacted. And we know that oysters are so much better when they are fresh. And so we're going to be having a chat today about what makes all of this the perfect place is Key West for oysters. So, what makes an oyster spot the best to check out? So, when you're checking out places around Key West, there are so many places in Key West that offer fresh oysters. But here's some even at home. This is what you're going to be looking for. Freshness. Do they have a variety of oysters? How do they prepare them? Are there different options or do you only get one choice? What's the atmosphere like? Is this a place you want to sit and enjoy a cocktail or a cold beverage and spend time with other people? Do they have value, especially if they have a happy hour that includes oysters? You want to be able to check that out. And do they specialize in seafood, or is this just an add on to their menu? So, here are 5 things you can add to your list of 5 things to look for in trying to find the best place for oysters. Are the oysters fresh? I hope so, right? Do they offer more than one style? That would be really good, right? Is a place known for good seafood overall? Do they understand the concept and are really acclimated to serving really good seafood? Is there a strong local vibe or a waterfront seating? Is it someplace that you really want to hang out? And is it worth the price? Especially at happy hour, can you get a better price? So let's run through some best oyster spots in the heart of Key West. And I'm going to start with one of the ones that most of you say is your favorite, which is Half Shell Raw Bar. It's iconic. It's in the heart of Key West. It's old school Key West, right? You have that vibe. You have the water views. It's in the historic seaport. And it just gives the location immediate credibility, right? They have their own market connections, so everything is really fresh, and it's a strong fit for anybody wanting a classic half shell raw bar experience. They have a whole list of options available from raw or steamed. You can do an oyster sampler. They have fried oysters. They have an oyster po' boy, garlic oysters. So it has a strong happy hour with beer and cocktails, and of course, a house wine. And this is a great first stop for first timers who want that old school Key West seafood energy. I think that's a place to go. And it's perfect for someone who wants oysters plus the classic harbor atmosphere, right? Another one we're going to stick into the historic seaport would be Alonzo's Oyster Bar. It's front and center on waterfront. It feels like you are part of the waterfront. You're right there on Front Street. It is a long-standing Key West staple, and it's a strong variety for people who want to try more than just the basic oysters. They have a daily fresh oyster bar, and you can order a tower of oysters, so think of it as a sampler of oysters. They have baked combos. Obviously, they have key lime and garlic oysters, and a lot of different specialties that appeal to a lot of other people's interests. And this is a great place for who want more of a polished marina setting, not the casual half shell place. It's a great place for date night or a place to bring visitors. One of my favorite places is the Conch Republic Seafood Company. It has a local strong vibe. You've got a great happy hour there. You can really feel that connection to the waterfront because you can see the fishermen come and unload their catch. And it's a great place if you want just more than oysters. If you want to expand out your seafood experience, and if they're available and they're off menu, are the Key West Reds. I just loved them. They have more of a lobster meaty taste versus the Key West Pinks that lean more into being more of a shrimp. But partner those with an oyster tasting, and I think you've got a great happy hour menu. You can also check out the happy hour. It's at the bar only, and I believe outside at the patio, not at the seating inside. And it's a buy one, get one. You get a little wooden coin that you can use that day or for another day during happy hour. Of course, one of the other places that you're just going to head down the street to is Schooner Wharf. This place has two happy hours, one in the morning, one in the evening, and it's more than an oyster stop. This is an experience. This is old school Key West. You have live music. I'm going to give you a hint. Go upstairs, get an amazing view of the marina, and they will serve you up there. So it's right there on the harbor walk. You get that old Key West character. And, it's a great place for people who just want to graze and sip and just enjoy some live music. How about some great oyster spots that bring something a little different? So we're going to come off the water and we're going to go into Old Town. And one of my places is Thirsty Mermaid. They have a rotating selection of East and West Coast oysters. And this is a great place for it's a small place. You're not going to have the water view, but you're going to have an amazing selection of beer and wine and cocktails and those oysters. Plus, they have a fabulous menu outside of that. Two Friends Patio. I know, thinking about that. Head down on Front Street. And you've got a great mix of casual, social, you've got live music, you've got a great happy hour. They have multiple broiled oyster options. So you can try different styles out for what they do. You've got a patio atmosphere with Two Friends, and it's just a great vibe. A lot of locals hang out there. Across the street, you've got Island Dogs. I know, you don't think of Island Dogs for oysters, right? It's laid back, local vibe. You've got the TVs up there, so if you want to catch a game, you have live music. You can sit outside on the sidewalk, so it's a great place to people watch. They do offer raw oysters on the half shell, and they do have some char grilled options. And this is a solid pick for somebody who wants a no-fuss place. Be sure to check out their key lime martini. That place is really good. Here's a place that you probably wouldn't think of for oysters, but that's Pepe's Cafe. I know, we know them for breakfast. We know them for their homemade bread that rotates all the time, but they offer some different baked options that you can explore. And plus, it's one of the oldest, if not the oldest, operating restaurant in Key West. And so you get a lot of history. You get that indoor-outdoor vibe. And a lot of locals hang out there. So you're like, Michelle, I'm thinking I want to go out and do something a little more upscale. I want to try some fine dining. We're in Key West to celebrate a special occasion. Got you covered. How about A&B Lobster House? Got waterfront fine dining. They have Daily Oyster Rockefeller. It's a great place for special occasions. You can dress up a little bit. And of course, Key West dress up, not go over the top. Put on something a little more dressy and go out and enjoy that special evening. If you are lucky enough to get a table at Little Pearl, be sure to check this place out. It is a fixed menu and it's very limited seating. And so we happened to be walking by one night. We were heading somewhere else and we saw two seats available at the bar, and we walked in and we're like, hey, are those seats available? And they were. And we had the most amazing experience. Like I said, it's a fixed menu. It rotates with seasonality, and you get to have a little bit of choice in between the menu. They do offer some oyster options sometimes, but that is absolutely a place to go to experience a culinary adventure. If you are a foodie, put Little Pearl on your bucket list. You've also have Cafe Marquesa and Prime Steakhouse. These are places that you're going to get your pasta, your homemade pasta over at Cafe Marquesa. At the Prime Steakhouse, you can do the surf and turf options. So not everybody is into oysters, and so these places offer just a little bit of variety that you can do. Plus, if you have a car or want to go explore or grab an Uber or something, you can head over to Stock Island. And over there, you've got a few places that you can check out. You have Matt's Stock Island, and they do an American fare over there. Great view of the marina and a very eclectic menu. So be sure to check that out. It's coastal American vibe, and so they offer a lot of cool things. Hogfish Bar and Grill. Be sure to check that out. That is old school Key West. You're going to sit right there on those picnic tables. And if you are lucky enough, you grab yourself some hogfish and some oysters and cold beer. And that's actually very iconic Key West. And nothing better and nothing will beat that on an afternoon of spending time out there. If you have the opportunity or have the ability to cook your own seafood, you can always check out the seafood markets. So you have Eaton Street Seafood Market, you have the Keys Fresh Seafood Market, and some of these offer sit down areas that you can grab some, pre-made food and eat it there, or you can take some of it back to your hotel condo or whatever you have and be able to explain to try your hand at making your own seafood and oysters. So, how do you order oysters? Obviously, you just ask the waiter, right? But there's some ordering tips. So, ask what's local or freshest for the day. That's going to give you that really good buy-in. And if you are watching me live and have questions or want to tell me your favorite place, be sure to tell me in the comments and we'll chat about whatever you put in there. Ask your server whether or not they're recommending that freshest of the day be raw, steamed, or baked. Do they have a preferred way that they're serving it? What does the chef say that this oyster is going to shine, and how is it going to be? If you're new to oysters, start with it baked. They're going to have a different texture, and they're going to be more in line with probably what you're used to in terms of seafood. And then you can work your way to broiled and then raw. If you love pure briny flavor, and that is what you go for whenever you are enjoying seafood, then you're going to love the raw oysters. So you're going to start there. And don't ignore happy hour. There's a lot of places in Key West that offer an amazing happy hour, and you can pair that with your oyster tasting. So you could pair it with a house wine that happens to be a buy one, get one, or some percentage off. Cold beer, be sure to try some of the local beers, and maybe just a simple cocktail that matches well. Ask your bartender or your server, or see if on the menu they are recommending a pairing that goes well with that oyster. Those pairings help enhance the flavors of what you're eating, and they usually have a rationale as to why they're recommending that. So, you want to go explore all these places and you have just a little bit of time in Key West. I understand that. There are so many options and so many places to check out that you're not going to be able to find and try them all in one or two visits. So let's build your own oyster crawl. Maybe you start at a classic spot like Half Shell or Alonzo's, and then you move over to the fun happy hour over at Conch Republic. And then maybe if you still have time, you hit Schooner Wharf for the later happy hour, or just grab Schooner Wharf for the music at the end. And then you can wander around for sunset and through the waterfront and explore sunset. If you're a first timer to Key West, some of the places that I would suggest that you check out and add to your list would be Half Shell Raw Bar, Alonzo's, and the Conch Republic. If you are looking for some hidden gems and you are that hidden gem hunter, be sure to check out Thirsty Mermaids, Island Dogs, and Stock Island as a bonus stop. If you're looking for some upscale places, like I mentioned, you have A&B Lobster House, Little Pearl, and Cafe Marquesa. So there are a lot of other places out there that offer an honorable mention. It's not that they're not at the top. It's not that they aren't worth checking out, but they're obviously worth mentioning. So we have Azure, Bistro 245, Hot Tin Roof, DJ's Clam Shack, Blue Heaven, and Louie's Backyard. All of them are so much different and offer such an amazing eclectic menu that you're not going to have the same experience in each place. So there's not one single answer as to where is the best oyster in Key West. I think the best depends on what you want. Are you looking for raw bar authenticity, a happy hour deal, waterfront views, upscale dining, or a local hidden gem? We've covered all of that. And I would say Key West gives you everything that you could ever ask for and then some. Whether you want a classic half-shell raw bar on the harbor, buttery garlic oysters, or a laid-back stop with live music and strong drinks, the heart of Key West has plenty to keep seafood lovers happy. Don't you agree? That's part of the reason why we come up with all these fun places to try, and that's why Tasty Tuesday is so much fun, because there is so many options in Key West. So as you can see, there's so many options. Plus, there's additional seafood options that you can check out. So if oysters are not your thing, don't feel like, well, I can only find oysters. Nope, you're going to find everything, all kinds of seafood in Key West. If you're looking for more guides, be sure to head over to FunInKeyWest.com. There's all those guides over there on where to eat, where to drink, where to stay, things to do. And did you know, under things to do, we work and partner with some amazing tour groups. And if you book using our links, guess what? I get a commission. It's a small commission at no extra cost to you. And that allows me to continue to do what I do in bringing these guides and all of this information to you. While you're over at the website, be sure to check out not only our tours if you're in town, but our book club. And we just launched our March book club book pick, and be sure to check that out and come join us over on our Facebook group where we can chat all about it. And we will be interviewing the author later this month. If you are looking for something specific to do or try, or trying to figure out something to do in Key West, feel free to put it in the comments, send me a DM, and you know what? It might make a new episode of our podcast. Who knows? I am Michelle. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Tasty Tuesday. You have a wonderful day, and we will be talking to you tomorrow. Bye. Wow, what a journey through the oyster scene of Key West. From iconic raw bars to hidden gems and upscale dining, there's truly something for every seafood lover in Key West. Whether you're chasing happy hour deals, waterfront vibes, or a culinary adventure, Key West has you covered. Don't forget to check out FunInKeyWest.com for more guides, tips, and even some amazing tours to make your trip unforgettable. And hey, if you've got a favorite oyster spot or a question about Key West, let me know. Send me a DM. Actually, it just might inspire our next episode. Thanks for tuning in today, and until next time, keep exploring, keep tasting, and have a shuckin' good day.